Hi everybody. We are going to continue in Unit 6, and I just want to give you a little bit of a video to kind of catch you up on where we left off so that we can start to move forward. We were talking about exponents. In Unit 6, we understand what exponents are and what they mean and represent, and today I just want to make a video to kind of help make sure that we're all on the same page with what we've got so far. So far, what we've talked about is what exponents are, and we've talked about how to handle them. How to handle my exponents. Exponents. So when I say that you can handle your exponents, what I mean is you know how to handle them on multiplication problems, like if you have x squared times x cubed, we know that you add the 2 and the 3 to get x to the 5th. We know that you can handle them on division problems, and that means that if you have something like x to the 8th divided by x to the 4th, we know what to do with the 8 and the 4. We subtract them. Or you can write it out. When in doubt, write it out, match and scratch and all that kind of good stuff. And then finally, we can handle our exponents. The last thing we talked about was we can handle our exponents even when there are parentheses. So if you have x squared cubed, what do we do with the 2 and the 3? In this scenario, we're going to multiply them. And so this is where you get 2 times 3 is 6. And basically I gave you an assignment to do on that. It was called Powers and Parentheses. And right now I want to take a look at those problems to see if you did it correctly. By the way, as I turn to that page right now, I'm just gonna be doing some videos like this from my house, just doing the best I can. These videos are not going to be super high quality, super high production value. Hopefully they're good enough that you can follow along in your packet and learn what you need to learn and check and make sure that you're doing things correct. All right, so this was your assignment. I'm just going to go through and show you what the answers should have been so that you can see if you're doing it right or not. So 4 squared cubed, what do I do with the 2 and the 3? I multiply them. 2 times 3 is 6, so that's 4 to the 6th power. And if you wanted to do 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, that would come out to 4,096. Either one of those answers would be fine. 5 cubed. Cubed is 5 to the 9th power. That's going to be really big. If you try that on your calculator, it comes out to over 1 million, almost 2 million. 1,953,125. Again, either one of those answers is okay. And again, are we doing this for a grade? No, we're not doing this for a grade. We're just doing this because we're wise and smart and we want to make sure that we know how to do this correctly. What's d to the 7th to the 6th? I take the 7 and the 6 and I multiply them and just have d to the 42nd. And since d is just a d, we're just going to call it d to the 42nd and leave it at that. Again, with an h, it's going to be h to the something. H to the whatever 4 times 9 is, that's 36. Once you get this, it's pretty easy. Even if there's multiple sets of brackets and parentheses, what am I going to do with all these 2's? I'm going to do 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So this is going to be 3 to the 8th. And again, you could have that, or the product that you get when you do that. This is going to be 5 to the 2 times 2 times 2, which is also 8, or 390,625. Notice 3 is not that much smaller than 5, but 3 to the 8th is a lot smaller than 5 to the 8th. That's the idea of this exponential growth. Remember we talked about the exponential curves, right? Things get really big really fast when you're dealing in exponent land. All right, number 7. What if I have numbers and letters? So I'm going to do 5 to the 4th and j to the 6th to the 4th. What do I do with the 6 and the 4? multiply them. So I've got 5 to the 4th times j to the 24th, or 5 to the 4th is 625. So you could have written it like that, which would be probably a good way to write it. Again, on this one, I'm going to cube the 11, and I'm going to cube the c to the 4th. So it's that or that would be the right answer. Finally, on number 9, I'm going to cube the 6 and cube the a squared and cube the b to the 6th. So when I cube the 6, I've got 6 cubed. When I cube the a squared, I've got a to the 2 times 3, b to the 6 times 3. And you could write it like that, or if you wanted to cube the 6 and tell me what that comes out to, you can write it like that. Anybody got 100%? 9 for 9 so far? Maybe, maybe not. But hopefully that makes sense and you can see if you are doing this right or wrong. Just a few more problems on the next page and we'll be good to go. Number 10, I'm going to do 2 to the 6th power, m to the 5th to the 6th power, n to the 11th to the 6th power. Crazy exponents there. That's okay. You could write it like this, or 2 to the 6th is 64, so you could write it like that. We're going to just keep on going. What happens when you do negative 3 to the 5th? I'm going to use parentheses here so that I remember I'm doing a negative to the 5th power. Then w cubed to the 5th, that's 15. 8 times 5 is 40. So it's going to be that. Is it going to come out positive or negative overall? Well, a negative times a negative times a negative times a negative times a negative comes out negative. So that's going to be negative 243 w to the 15th, z to the 40th. Having fun yet? Not too bad. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Negative 5 to the 4th. R to the 4th to the 4th. 4 times 4 is 16. S to the 12 times 4, which is 48. Is this going to come out negative or positive? Negative times negative times negative times negative. That's going to come out positive. And you're going to have positive 625, r to the 16th, s to the 48th power. Okay, now we got a couple word problems about cubes. We're going to do number 14 first because it actually gives us a picture. What's the volume of the planter? Well, isn't the volume this times this times this? Yeah, and if it's a cube, isn't this the same as this and this? So basically, what am I doing? I'm doing 3w to the 4th times 3w to the 4th times 3w to the 4th, or better yet, couldn't I consider that 3w to the 4th cubed, since I'm timesing it by itself? So what do I do here? 3 times 3 times 3. I cube the 3, and I get 27. W to the 3 times 4 is 12. That would be the volume of the planter. Number 13 is the same exact problem, just without a picture, and instead of 3w to the 4th, we have this is what we're going to cube. By the way, express this as a monomial, if that threw you for a loop. A monomial is just a fancy name for some combination of letters and numbers and exponents. So this is a monomial, this is a monomial, these are all monomials. Okay, so I'm going to take that monomial, and if that's one side, I'm going to cube that. And what do I get when I cube that? 3 cubed, again, is 27. C to the 6th cubed is c to the 6 times 3. And d to the 2 times 3. That would be my answer for number 13. Finally, number 15 and number 16, and we're good to go. On this one, you've got to do it in pieces. So first, I'm going to do this squared. Then whatever that is, I will cube it. So I'm going to square the 3, 9, square the x squared, x to the 4th, square the y cubed, y to the 6th, and then it's that to the 3rd power, and I'm just going to kind of do the whole thing again. 9 cubed, we'll figure out what that comes out to. X to the 4 times 3, y to the 6 times 3. So you get that, or 729 x 12 y 18. Okie doke. Number 16. We got a fraction, and that's okay. Can I square 3/5? Yeah. What does it mean to square something? Multiply it times itself. So basically, I'm just going to square the top, square the bottom. So what's that going to be? 9/25. A to the 6 times 2, B to the 9 times 2, and boom, we're done. Easy peasy, no problem. Hopefully that helps you check and see if you were on the right track and if you were doing these problems correct. The last thing I'm going to do is say that you've got this whole week just to catch up and review by taking a look at this Connect 4, which is the next page in your Unit 6 packet. You've got all week to do that. Later on in the week, I'll post the answer key so that you can see if you did it right. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Thanks for putting up with a low quality video. Hopefully it's at least good enough in these crazy times to get us going where we need to go, and that is making sure that we're still learning, that we're still getting ourselves ready for high school, and knowing how exponents work is part of that process. So, that being said, I'm all done. You've got all week. Miss you guys. Hope you're all doing well. I will see you later.